Hi watchers, it's me again, Kumar from DURGASOFT Selenium training. So today I'm here to discuss about variable naming convention topics team. In the last class we seen about data types. Let me give you a quick review team. What is a data type? Data type is nothing but if you want to store something with the help of a programming, you need to take the help of data types. For data type, the signature is data type and variable name and variable value. So that variable name, how you going to be decide? That's something I'm going to discuss about variable naming convention topics team. Now let me discuss about the variable naming conventions. The first thing, okay. So I'm going to be creating a new class team in my workspace. The class name is variable naming convention. Okay, so here I'm creating a main function team. Main function. The variable naming conventions are nothing but team. I'm talking about a kind of some rules. How we going to be decide the variable name? These are all not at all a kind of a rules team. I'm saying again, these are all the conventions. If you follow this conventions team, your programs look very neat. So you have to follow this Java standards team here. What are the variable naming conventions? Okay, the first point you have to understand team here, in your Eclipse pane, some code is highlighting on the red color. You might notice this. Some code is highlighting on the red color. Whatever the code is highlighting on the red color team, those are all known as Java keywords. Those are all known as team Java keywords. It does some separate functionality. It does some separate functionality team. Java keyword means team, it does some separate functionality. Why I am stressing this point here is because the first rule we have here is team variable name should not be same as Java keyword. You have to follow this one. Okay, now I want to store something team here. If I want to store something, as you know that the signature is data type, variable name and variable value. Now let me take team now data type as an int and int equals to something 20. Int is a keyword now. Now you might notice that when I'm taking my variable name as a data type name, it is giving me kind of a compile time error. So variable name should not be same as a Java keyword. This is the first rule you have to remember. Okay, let me talk about now second rule team. Second rule is, let me define it now. So int something a equals to 20. I'm trying to hold now a equals to 30. If I want to store something a equals to 30 team, don't take duplicate variable name. If you take a duplicate variable name team, it gives you an error, compile time error. So the first rule we see in team now, variable name should not be same as a Java keyword. And second rule, it's very important here is duplicate variable names are not at all allowed. Okay, duplicate variable names are not at all allowed team. Hope you're clear. So this is what we are getting a compile time error. Now let me go into the third rule. The third rule is team here. Okay, so in between variable name, special characters are not at all allowed. Any special characters except underscore and a dollar, any other special characters are not at all allowed team. Let's say take example here. I am taking something known as a first number. First number. If I am taking the first number team, I just want to provide the space here. If I am providing a space team here, it is not at all accepting. If I provide any something space, it is not at all accepting. Any special characters not at all allowed team. Be it a space or @ or hash or percentile or anything. Basically any special characters are not at all allowed except underscore. Okay, so between the variable name, special characters are not at all allowed. Okay, and the last rule is team, this is something very important here. Always variable name should be starts with alphabetic, not as alphanumeric. Your variable name team always should be starts with alphabetic. It's not a kind of alphanumeric. Let's say team here, I'm going to be taking like int first number. Instead of first number team here, I'm defining as a numerical number here. When I apply like this, it might be giving a compile time error. You notice this. Variable name always should be starts with alphabetic team, not as an alphanumeric. Okay, maybe in the end of the end team you can provide it. Okay, first number something 1 you can provide it, first number something 2 you can provide it, and the end of this variable name it is allowing, but the starting of the variable name team it's not at all allowed. These are all the Java rules team. You have to follow these things. If you follow these rules team, your program kind of looks very neat. Point number 1. And basically team, this is one more important feature here is subsequent words. Always subsequent words should be start with the capital letter team, and variable name should be start with the lowercase letter. Always variable name should be start with the lowercase letter, and if you have any subsequent words, that subsequent word should be start with the capital letter. Let me tell you now here, we have a variable first number already we defined it. Let me take as a now second number. So second number. Okay, in the second number team we have a two words here. One is second, other one is a number here. If we have any kind of subsequent words, always subsequent words should be start with capital letter. Okay, and variable name should be starts with lowercase letter. Now you might notice this here on the second number field here, my S is start with the lowercase letter and number is start with the uppercase letter. And you might be have a one more thing team here, something test. So I'm going to be defining again test is also another subsequent word. Even for the test also, the test is start with the capital letter. Okay, this is something you have to follow team here. Okay, so always variable name should be start with the lowercase letter. If you have any subsequent words, that subsequent word should be start with the capital letters. Hope you clear team. These are all about variable naming conventions here. You have to follow these conventions team so that your program looks very neat. I repeat this, what are the rules we have it? The first one is variable name should not be same as a Java keyword. Second one is team, duplicate variable names are not at all allowed. The third thing here is team, there is no special characters are not at all allowed in the variable name. Except underscore and dollar, there are no other any special characters are not at all allowed. And one more important point is team, always variable name should be start with the alphabetic, not as an alphanumeric. In this variable name, if you have any subsequent words, that subsequent word should be start with the lowercase letters, and variable name should be starts with subsequent word should be start with the uppercase letters, and variable name should be start with the lowercase letters. Okay, these are all about a variables naming conventions team. Hope you clear. Now let me discuss about some other important thing team here. Basically, if you are writing some logic in the Java programming team, you have to write the logic only on inside the class, inside the method, not inside the class. Okay, let me explain you now. I'll make this code as a comment here because I'm getting a kind of errors. Let me save it. Now I'm going to be creating a class team here, and my class name is something I'm giving example as a test. Okay, test is my class name. If you want to write some logic in the Java programming team, you need to write the logic only on inside this methods, not inside the class. I repeat this statement. If you want to write some logic in the programming, you have to take the help of only methods. Directly on the class level, you're not able to document it. Let me say here, this is something Selenium training or documenting team. Okay, you might observe this here. Let me document this and execute it. When you document something on the inside the function team, it is got executed. Now the same thing I'm going to be documenting at the class level. I'm cutting this and I'm pasting on the class level scope. So this is what something on the inside the class level team. Okay, this is what something known as inside the method. If you want to write some logic team, always the logic should be goes only on the functions, not inside the class level. If you document something inside the class team, it does not support, only methods are supports. Hope you clear. Okay, and again now methods also divided into two types in here. One is a main function we have it, other one is normal functions here. One is a main function, other one is a normal function here. So what are the benefits we have in the main function? Okay, let me tell you about the main function here team. Okay, if you document something on the main function team, it's automatically got executed. But still there are few drawbacks we have it team. If you document something on the main function, the benefit is it's automatically getting executed. But we have a few drawbacks here. So what are the drawbacks? The point number 1 team here, this is something very, very important. If you document something your program inside the main function, you're not able to organize your code. Point number 1, organizing code is not possible team. Organizing the code is not possible when you document something inside the main function. Okay? Hope you're clear. Not possible. This is the first point. I'll explain you why it does not support and what is mean by organizing code. I'll explain you in a short while. The second point, something, this is very, very important team. If you document something on the main function, you're not able to override. What is mean by override? I'll be discussing about in the coming classes. But when you document something on the main function team, you're not able to override the program team. Okay? Because static functions, you're not able to override. Static functions, you're not able to override team here. Okay, main is a kind of a static function here, you're not able to override. So these two are the drawbacks team here. If you something, you document on the normally in the main functions, you're not able to organize your code, you're not able to override your code. But these two features are very, very important in our real-time, programming world. Let me give you one example on the first statements, organizing the code. Okay, so just have a look team here. So assume that we have a calculator application. Assume that there is a use case we are developing as a calculator application. Let me document the few statements here. So this is add function, and for time being I'm documenting as a few sysouts team here. This is add function, this is subtraction, this is a division, and this is multiplication. Let me document it now. Subtraction, division, and multiplication. Okay, now we have a 4 functions team. Just I have documented as a kind of normal sysouts here. Assume that we have a 4 modules now. Add module, submodule, division, multiplication. Everything team, you might notice this, I have documented inside the main function. Each and every statement team here, I have documented directly on the inside the main function. So whenever I execute the program team here, you might notice this, all these 4 statements got executed. Add function statement got executed, so simultaneously it's got executed, subtraction, division, and multiplication. But oftenly in our programming team, I am not at all interested about all this piece of code. I am just interested about only add. As and when I require a add team, I need to call that function and I have to execute only add piece of code. But you might observe team here, when I executing through normally main function here, it is directly got executed all the 4 statements. Unnecessarily I am executing all this statement team. I am just interested about only the add. How can I organizing my code here? I want to only add. So add means team here, I just want to divide my program into bit and pieces. As and when we require add functionality, I'll be simply call add and the specific piece of code will be executed. This is what my requirement. If you document something on the inside the main function team here, you're not able to organize your code. For that is the reason team here, we have a methods concept in the Java programming. We have methods concept in the Java programming team. Okay, by using a methods team here, you can organize your code and you can override the program. So how can I decide how can I create a method? For creating a method team, we have a signature here. The signature is access modifier, return type, method name. Okay, this is what the signature of a method team here. The method signature here is, that means method syntax here is, if you want to create any method team here, the signature here is access modifier, return type, and method name. Okay, now this thing you have to define inside the class team. Always you have to define the method only on inside the class, not inside the method. Now I have a add related functionality team here. If you have any add related functionality here, you can take the signature. The signature is access modifier, return type, method name. Okay, so whatever I have a method functionality code team, I'll be documenting on that separate method here. I'm going to be creating a separate method team here. So what is mean by access modifier? Access modifier topic I'll be discussing about in the coming classes team. Just for time being, remember access modifier means here we have a public is a one of the access modifier. Okay, I'll be keep public is an access modifier. The return type is something I'm keeping as a void. Void is nothing but team, it's a empty return type. We have a void. My method name is team, add is my method name. Okay, now whatever the piece of code related to the add team, I'm simply documenting on the inside the add function. Okay, let me cut this and paste it on the add function here. You might notice this here. Now I'm trying to organizing my code as per the depends on the functionality. If I have any add related stuff team, I'll be simply call the add function, it will be execute a add. If I require a subtraction, I will be call the subtraction function here. That means that here, you might notice this here, I am able to organize my code as and when I require that specific functionality, I'll be call and I'll be execute that program. The same thing if I doing in the main function team here, in the main, you're not able to organize the code. Point number one, you're not able to override it. But if you something we are doing in the normal function team here, you can override it and you can execute the you can organize your code. So you might notice this team here. I have defined a public void add function and as well as I have a public static void main function. Okay. Now let me execute this program team here. If I execute the program here, you might notice this here. This is simply executing only. This is sub function, div function, multiplication function. It is not at all executing add. It is not at all executing add. So we have a benefits also. We have some benefits also on the main function team. The major benefit. The program start execution from the main function. Point number one. And the second thing is team here. Whatever we document inside the main, it's got executed end to end. Then what happened to my add function? My add is not at all executed. Why it is not at all executing? The reason is team here. The static Java is first for looking for the static and it has some internally some memory team. It is by default got executed. When I talk about this add function team here, this add function is available inside the class here, does not have any memory. It does not have any memory to execute this add method. How can I execute this add function team? If I want to execute a add function here, the point number one team, we need to allocate some memory. We need to allocate some memory. You might be have a question. If it is not at all having a memory, how exactly main is executing? So main is completely an exceptional team here. In the Java programming, main is a kind of exceptional. The reason is, so whenever Java program execution starts, so first of all we have it's looking for the main function. Whatever you document something on the inside the main team, it will be execute end to end. If you want to execute some other piece of code, you need to explicitly allocate a memory. So how can I allocate a memory? If you want to allocate a memory team, you need to create an object for the class. Okay, as you know that in the first class of Java, I discussed you about, then the memory allocation will be done in Java is only on the runtime, not in the compile time. For your class team, memory will be allocated only on the runtime, not in the compile time. You might notice this. And point number one team here, if you want to execute this add functionality, you have to allocate a memory to the class. How can I allocate a memory? If you want to allocate a memory team here, you need to create an object for the class. You need to create an object for the class. How can I create an object for the class? For creating an object team, we have a standard syntax here. You just need to take the help of the standard syntax. The syntax of the object creation is team here. Class name, object name equals to new class name. The syntax of object creation is team here. We have class name, object name equals to new class name. So what is my class name team here? What is my class name? Test is my class name. Okay, let me define all the function team here. Public void something sub. The subtraction piece of code also I am documenting on the inside the subtraction function. Now if I execute this team, it will be executed now this time only. This is division and multiplication now because both are in the inside the main function. Now if I want to execute this add function or subtraction function team, then what I need to do here, I need to create an object for the class. How can I create an object for the class team? The signature of creating an object is object creation. The signature of the object creation is team here, class name, object name equals to new class name. Hope you're clear. Class name, object name equals to new class name. Now, what was my class name team here? Test is my class name, and object name here is team test object equals to new class name. This is what? Something, the creation of objects. Why we need to create an object team? Because if I want to execute any other functions, you need to allocate a memory. For allocating a memory, you need to create an object. Until or unless if you not at all create any object team, your class does not have any memory. If you create an object, then your class have a memory. Hope you clear. Okay. Now see here team, let me print this, the test object here. Okay. So it might be print you now the object memory location team here. Let me execute now. See here, this is what the memory address we have for the class. Now you have a memory, but still you are not at all executing add function and do function team. The reason is we created a memory, fine, but you need to supply that memory to that specific functions, then only it will be execute. So whatever the method you created team, you need to supply that memory to your function. If you want to call a add function team, you need to take the help of memory reference. That memory reference you have to supply to the add function, then only it will be execute. Otherwise it won't be execute here. Now in this case team here, it will be execute add function. Just have a look here. See here, this is add function. How it is executing team here? For our class, we created an object. Whatever the object we created, that object we are supplying to the method. Now our method is getting executed. Hope you clear. If you want to call even subtraction functionality out of team, you can simply take the help of an object and call the function. As and when you require the functionality team, you can call the function, it will be executed. If you are not at all interested about the functionality, you can simply ignore those methods. It will never be executed. Hope you are clear. Okay. Now I am discussing about methods in the Java programming team. Let me give you a quick review here so far whatever we discussed. Okay. So as you know that team, if you want to write a programming something in the Java, you need the program in the sense if you want to write something logic, any logic, you need to take the help of only methods in the Java programming. Directly you are not able to write in the inside the class level. You have to take only methods. Inside the methods only you can document your logic. And again we have a main method here. Main is exceptional case team as I discussed you. The program execution start from the main. So we are happily writing our program in the main. But if you document something on the main, we have two drawbacks. So what were the two drawbacks team here? You're not able to organize your code. Point number one, you're not able to override it. This overriding feature is very, very important team. Once I discuss about inheritance topic, I'll explain you. Just be with me for some time to understand about overriding concept. Just for time being, remember this statement team here. If you document something on the main functions, you're not able to organize your code and you're not able to override your programming. To achieve these two drawbacks team here, we are taking the help of methods concept in the Java programming. Okay. Normally we are creating a method. For creating a method, we have a signature called access modifier, return type and method name. Access modifier, return type and method name. Hope you're clear. So what is an access modifier team? Public is one of the access modifier we have it. Then return type is a void. Void is nothing but team. Just remember here, it's an empty return type. Empty return type, it's not at all returning anything. Then method name we have defined as a add is a method. So we simply documented our add functionality logic in the add method team. Once you document the logic in the add functionality here, what you observe is the completely add related code is moved into your add method. But when you execute a program team, you might notice that add function is not at all executed. But when you something documenting on the main function, by defaultly each and every piece of code is executing. But when you document something on the add function team, it is not at all execute. The reason behind team here, when you document something on the inside the main has some kind of a default memory location, it will be execute. But add and subtraction functionalities, whatever we have in the test class, those methods are not at all having any memory. To execute that methods team, you need to supply a memory. How can I create a memory? For creating a memory team, for allocating a memory here, you need to create an object for the class. For creating an object, the syntax is team class name, object name equals to new class name. And again you might notice this team here, new is highlighting on the red color. Highlighting on the red color in the sense team, it might be a Java keyword. It is a Java keyword team. What exactly new does is, it will be provide dynamic memory to your classes. It will be provide some memory. So because of that new keyword only team, we are allocating a memory. So if you document something on the functions which are in outside of the main, to access that function team, you need to create a memory. For creating a memory, you have to take the help of object. For objects creation team, the signature is class name, object name equals to new class name. After creating an object, that object you have to supply to your methods. Once you supply the object memory to the methods team, you are good to go executing the methods. The example which we see now here, testObject.add and testObject.sub. Okay, now let me give you one more example team here. I am creating a class called example. Okay, so in this example class team here, I have a one function called public void add. System.out.println. This is add function. I am defining one more function here, public void, sorry team, public void something subtraction here, system.out.println. This is subtraction function. Perfect. If I want to execute these two methods here, directly it's not possible. Why team here? The reason, the first point you have to notice this, we don't have a main function. If you want to execute this program, the first step we required here is, we need a main function team. We need a main function. Inside the main function team, what you want to do? Inside the main function here, you need to create an object for the class. So how can I create an object team here? The object creation is class name, object name equals to new class name. I successfully created an object. After creating an object team, there is some memory will be allocated to your class. Now you can take the object reference and execute, which one you want to execute, you can call simply that function. It will be automatically execute that method. Add, this is add function. If you want to call even subtraction also, we can take the help of example class subtraction. Okay, this is all about methods introduction about in the Java programming team. Okay, hope you clear. Just we seen about today how to create a method, how to execute the program which is having inside the main function or outside the main function. Hope you clear. In the next class team, I'm gonna discussing about how to call these methods in another classes, and the very important topic is inheritance. Okay, please follow our videos team. If you have any questions, feel free to ping me on this DurgaSoft website.